friends, welcome to episode 165 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as the Dear Tani. I'm coming to you today from my home in Central Florida, where I have probably waited too long to film this. Like too late in the day to film this. Such is life. You want to say hi? The camera's over there.
Hi.
So I'm hoping that I'm gonna have a small, like a shorter podcast today, because according to my notes, I don't have a whole lot to really talk about, but we'll see how that goes. So welcome back to all the returning viewers, and if you're new, I hope that you find something during this podcast that you enjoy and can connect with, and I hope you subscribe. So we're gonna start with bright spots, as always. And bright spots are comments of good things, positive things, uplifting things, things that made you feel warm and cozy on the inside, that happened and that members of our Quirky family, our Quirky Monday community, post in the podcast comments. So the first bright spot is from Marianne, and Marianne said, my bright spot is my son is home from college for his spring break. We are all happy to see him, and our pets were so excited when he walked into the house. Rebecca's bright spots says, this last week my daughter turned 27, I turned 50, and my grandson turned 2. Also, my daughter has gotten back into knitting, and we went to get yarn together. That's really sweet. So we got quite a few bright spots in the last podcast that talked about things happening with family, so that's really cool. Renee's bright spot, my sock knitting mojo is back. I think mine is trying to leave, so maybe you got mine. Just saying, it's a possibility. Tay LMA's bright spot is, my bright spot was seeing Tootie in her swimsuit. I'm glad that Tootie's momentary existence in that swimsuit, or debut in that swimsuit, brought some smiles. There were quite a few comments about Tootie in her swimsuit. I also shared it on Instagram where people were completely delighted with Tootie in her swimsuit. We haven't been back to the beach since, but it'll happen again. It'll happen. Since now I know that dog beach exists, it is on my mental map, it becomes a possibility in the world. And those are all the bright spots for this past podcast. It was kind of a short list this time, but if you would like to share a bright spot, you can leave it in the comments below. Just something that made you feel good, something good that happened, so that we can celebrate those good things with each other. The next admin bit is the Pisces season make-along has come to an end. Pisces season technically ended on March 20th. Today is March 23rd? 23rd or 24th, I don't know. It's March 24th. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna make a little video just because I've never done this before, and I really enjoy seeing the things that people created for Pisces season, for the Pisces season make along. I'm gonna make a little video showing like a slideshow of all the people, like all the different posts in the Pisces season make along. Pisces season MAL 2023 hashtag on Instagram. So I'll do that, and then I will do a random drawing because, surprise, surprise, we have prizes. So I'll do a random drawing for 2 winners from the participants on Instagram. And big thanks to 2 of our lovely viewers who sent me prizes for the Pisces season make-along. Originally, I was saying that we weren't going to have any prizes this year just because bandwidth, and I I didn't have it in me to like put something together. And you know, the past ones I've made bags and stuff for, and I didn't have the bandwidth. But nevertheless, the community has come through, and oops, these are the prizes. So there's 2 bags, and they are very big bags. These bags are really well made, really cool design too. Like all of the bags that I make are zipper bags. So whenever I see drawstring bags, I'm like, that is so cool. And do I want to start making drawstring bags? But here is prize number 1. It's like a beekeeper bag. And then one of our viewers sent the bag and the stitch markers, and another viewer sent the yarn, which, perfect. These are the yarns. So this yarn came by itself, so I added this mini to go with it. This yarn is Aunt Jeannie Makes in the colorway Sea Flower. It's superwash sock, which is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams to 430 yards. So yes, all of that, just love it. So that's the yarn that's gonna go with this mini. I bought this mini from, I can't remember the dyer, but I will put it on the screen in editing. So you've got 100 grams and a mini. And then the progress keepers and stitch markers. There were a couple sets, and our gift sponsor, prize sponsor, said that I could keep one set for myself. So do I have any of those on anything? Yes, I have a couple of those on a project, so I'll show you. But these are 2 of the progress keepers. And then, oh, I'm sorry, 3, little sand dollar. And then the stitch markers are, there's 4 stitch markers, and they're like this. Little dainty seashells, like little clam shells. And there's 4 of those. And then 3 ocean themed progress keepers. So that's a really cool collection. So that's prize pack number 1. And then prize pack number 2 is the same style bag, just in this heart print. And the inside has these, almost said zippers, these stripes. And the yarn that comes with this one is from High Fiber Arts, and it is the colorway European Starling. This is 100% superwash blue face luster. This one is 100 grams to 438 yards, and then the mini skein is 20 grams to 87 yards. The other mini skein is also a 20 gram mini. So here are these colors. Those are really pretty. So the reason I put this one with this bag is because the colors were more dark and moody, and then the other one, they're more light. So, you know, I tried to have like some sort of method behind the madness of putting together these prize packs. And then here is the Progress Keeper stitch marker set for that one. So the stitch markers, there are 4 still, and they are shaped like this. This is like a nautilus. I think that's the name of the shell, like a nautilus shell. And I just love, I'm sorry, this is like a nautilus shell, and I really love the like iridescent color on it. And then on the back side, it's got a purple iridescence. So there's 4 of those. And then we have an anchor, a whale tail, and this really pretty, almost like lace flower, like that. And this is like a plastic acrylic, so it's super lightweight, which is really cool. So thank you again to our two wonderful sponsor viewers for providing prizes. So yeah, those winners of these two prize packs will be chosen, and they'll be announced in the upcoming video. Okay, finished objects. So I have a couple finished objects. Actually, literally, I have two finished objects. The first one, y'all will be so proud of me because this is just a testament to perseverance. So last episode, I was talking about how, actually the episode before last, I was talking about how I wanted to make a hexagon cardigan. Last episode, I showed the yarn from my frogged hexagon cardigan because I started making it and I got like a couple inches, I don't know, maybe like 12, 13 rounds into the first hexagon, and I just hated it. So I ripped that out. I restarted it with just the solid color. Still hated it. Ripped that out. Kind of resolved to not do a hexagon cardigan. And then I was thinking maybe I should just try it with a bulkier yarn. So I have it was the Karen Cake, one of their like special edition ones that was like super chunky. I have one in the house, and of course I didn't bring it out here, but this is the yarn. And I had two in this brown color, which was called Ginger Snap, and one in the red, which I showed you in the picture, and then a multicolor one that was like reddish purplish brown. I don't remember the name of that colorway, but I made a hexagon cardigan with it. So I will put it on for your viewing pleasure. I have not woven in any of the ends because my plan is to run it through the washer and dryer so that it relaxes and kind of stretches out. This yarn is 100% acrylic. I know with the Karen Cakes, their content varies, but this particular one is all acrylic. I even made a little button with the leftover of this yarn. So this cardigan used one whole ball for the brown section and the second ball for this brown section, and then the sleeves, yeah, the sleeves are all the multicolor ones. So there's this, and then stripes at the bottom. And this is how, can you see? This is how low it comes. This is my waist here, or is that my waist? Yeah, that's my waist. So it's a little bit below my waist, and I really like it. So because I have finished this one and I really like it and like felt the success of it, I want to make another one. So we have motivation to make one in a lighter yarn. Now, because this is so bulky, I'm already hot, but also it's breezy. Like, look at all these holes, right? So like it doesn't stop any breeze, but it's warm at the same time. So I love this. Like, if I had known that I would like this color so much, I would have bought more of this color. But of course, the Karen Cakes are not limited edition, they're special edition. So once they hit and they're done, they're done. So yeah. The whole reason that I bought this yarn to begin with was I was gonna make a blanket, and I was completely enabled by, I think her name is Kayla Alt Knots. First of all, I love that Kayla has an aesthetic and sticks to it. that's really dope to me. But Kayla had made a blanket, I think it was a blanket, out of the ginger snap colorway, and I was like, I love that, I want it. So I bought two, and then I was like, this is not enough to do anything. So then I went and I was gonna get more of the ginger snap, but then I thought, let's be fancy, and I got one of this one and one of the red. What is that? Anyway, it's finished. I love it. The only thing I don't love actually is this button. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it, but I might. Anyway, I did it. I made the hexagon cardigan, and I think I will really like it a lot more after I wash and dry it and it relaxes, because it's a little bit short. Yeah, so yay for that finished object. My next finished object is a part of a set that I'm working on. We're gonna put this, threw it right on the floor on top of a pile of leaves. I'm gonna be picking leaves and vegetable matter out of that sweater till kingdom come. So my best friend is having her second baby in June, and for her first baby, I made him, what did I make him? I knit him a sweater. Yeah, I knit him the flax light, and I made a pair of baby booties, baby mitts, and a diaper cover, and some hats. I did a lot for that baby. I mean, your best sister friend only has her first baby once, so go all out. So she's having another baby, and I messaged her and I asked her what she wanted me to make for this baby, and she sent me this picture, and I said, okay. Because of course it was not, she's not like a crafter or anything like that, so she didn't send me a pattern that she wanted me to make. She sent me like a finished onesie hat set that she saw somewhere and was like, my best friend can make that. Kalisha, can you make this for my baby? And I was just like, yeah, I can. And then I had to do a whole bunch of research and planning and all kinds of stuff to get this underway. But we are in there like swimwear, like getting it done. So I finished the hat. It's so stinking cute. Okay, so this is how I got to this point. So I took the picture that she sent me and I Google Lensed it. So basically what Google Lens will do is it will search for similar things to the picture that you put into that like image search engine, and I was looking for it to identify the stitch that was used, and it did. So I had to like zoom in on like just the stitches, and it identified it as the bubble stitch. So this is the bubble stitch, which I am loving knitting it and the texture that it creates. So one thing about me is I love texture things, like highly textured things, but I don't want to do a whole lot to get it. Like I don't want to be like knit here, knit purl do below into the back loop and do-si-do. Like I don't want to do all that. Like just give me something simple with like big impact, and the bubble stitch does that. So essentially it is 5 rows of stockinette, and then on the 6th row you knit, I think it's called knit 4 below. So I had to do a couple, like I think I looked at 2 or 3 different tutorials for how to do it, but once I got it, it is super easy. So to get the hat, all I did was cast on the number of stitches for like a 6 to 9 months. She wants 6 to 9 months. Since the baby's due in June, a hat and a knit onesie is not going to be useful until the fall and winter. So I cast on the number of stitches for that age baby and made sure that I had a multiple of 4. I think it's a multiple of 4 plus 3 that this pattern works off of. And then once I did that, I did the pattern for however tall the hat needed to be before the decreases. And then I just did a regular, like, top of the hat spiral decrease. Wham bam, thank you ma'am. So the hat was actually the easier, obviously the hat was the easier of the things to make, and I kind of use this as my practice to getting the stitch down and to gauge swatching for the onesie. That will bring us into works in progress. This is how far I am on the onesie, and it is, oh my gosh, I love it so much. I'm definitely keeping this pattern and all of my notes in a notebook somewhere because I want to make this again. So the first thing I did was look and see if there was a bubble stitch onesie pattern available. I couldn't find one, so what do? We make our own. I am using the Happy Days onesie by Drops, and it is a stockinette onesie that goes like stockinette up to like here, and then it does garter stitch up to here, and then the arms are stockinette, and then the raglan decreases are stockinette. Then it has a button band down the middle and a collar. So the adjustments that I'm making to the pattern obviously are I'm doing the bubble stitch instead of stockinette and garter. I'm going to work all the way up until the arm join. Then I'm going to knit the arms to pattern, and then knit the decreases to pattern because that part of the inspiration picture is in stockinette. I will need to change the ribbing because the ribbing in the Happy Days is I think a 2x2, and I'm doing a 1x1, which that's how much I love my best friend. I'm doing 1x1 ribbing. I do not get down with 1x1. Dislike it, do not recommend, 0 out of 10. Anyway, so I'm gonna need to change the button band ribbing to 1x1, and I think I need to make it a little bit wider than it is in the pattern. And the cuffs around the leg and the wrists, I need to do 2 times longer so that they can roll, like fold up, because they're folded in the inspo. And then the neckline is a folded neckline in the inspo, so I'll need to do that in my dupe as well. So far so good. The only difficulties I'm having is like really just reading the drops pattern. I can't put my finger on what makes it confusing, but some is confusing. I don't know what it is, but I have to like really slow down when I'm working, when I'm like doing something new in the pattern, like a new pattern instruction. But I mean, so far so good. It's a free pattern. I'm not going to do too much complaining. Yeah, I'm really liking how it's coming out. I'm just, oh my gosh, y'all see these little legs? Y'all see these little legs? Ooh. All right. So now, one of the things you would have noticed if you look at this compared to the inspiration hat is that the inspiration hat is open in the back. It has like a opening, an arched opening like this with like a band that goes across to connect it. I was not finna do all that. So I told her, I'm not, I don't want to figure that out. So I'm just going to do you a regular beanie. And she was like, cool. So I've been sending her progress pictures as I'm working on it. And every time she replies back, every time she replies back, she's like, my sister did that. And I'm like, yes, she did. It feels so good, like, to have her being so excited about the thing that I'm making. And it feels really good for me to be able to make this thing, to know that I am knitting so much love into this little baby onesie. And I'm super excited to meet the baby. I want to be there for baby's birthday, but we'll see how it goes, because y'all know sometimes life be lifing. I might have to be there on Zoom. But really fun project, really simple, surprisingly. I keep saying it's simple, and watch like something happen, like there's gonna be a curveball thrown in there with the decreases, but you know, it's just yarn. If you mess up, you can rip it out. We're good. Next project. This is my Drinks on the Patio tank by Shanakay Salmon. And I am lovingly referring to it as my work tank top, because these are my college's school colors, basically. So I don't remember how far I was the last time you saw it, but I have finished, I have finished the body. I am making this pretty much to pattern, but longer, because knit exactly to pattern. It's a crop top, and I lengthened it, I think, by, I don't know, like 5 inches maybe. So I'm working up the back now, and I'm to the point where I'm just going to be decreasing until I get to the specified stitch count. This is one of the progress keepers that I kept from the prizes that were sent to me for the Pisces season make along. I just loved that, so I kept that one. And there's also some stitch markers that had like a little star and a moon on it, and I kept those. So, I mean, in my defense, she said I could keep some, and those did not match with the rest of the vibe. Like, the rest of the collection was an actual collection, so I kept them. So yeah, this yarn is another Karen cake. This is the cinnamon cake, something like that. But it is also 100% acrylic. It is quite soft. I like it. I like it a lot. Striping. I feel, let me not say that. I should be done with the back panel within the next couple days, and then we'll move on to the front. And on the front, you have a couple more of my progress keepers. These are a finished object from, I think, last episode, where I had bought a necklace with all the planets on it, the sun and the planets, and I said I was going to make them into progress keepers. So here's one, and here's another. Yeah, so that's just round and round she goes. Well, now it's back and forth she goes. Since I'm working flat in the top, I am doing, I'm alternating between knitting and then like backwards knitting instead of purling, and then purling sometimes if I feel like it. But mostly I'm practicing my backwards knitting, just in case, you know, I just don't feel like purling, right? So that's that. This is how much is left of the first ball. And I do have a second ball in stash waiting in the wings. The next work in progress I have is a top that I started and I'm kind of stuck. I was in, where was I? Joann. And I saw this yarn. I'll show it to you. It's in stash positions as well. But this is the K&C, which is Knit and Crochet Essential. 100% cotton. I think it's worsted. Is it worsted? Hello? It's a 3 weight. So worsted, or no, like sport DK-ish. So this colorway is called Chesapeake. This one is Gulf side, and then I forget what this darker teal was. But I saw them and I was so inspired by them, and I was like, I want a tank top in those colors. And so I started freestyling one. This is as far as I've gotten, okay? And I really, really like the shaping that I did on the neckline and like the side here. But I don't know what I want to do for like the body of, like what stitch I want to do for the body. So I am using Chesapeake for the body. And because it's variegated, I'm thinking maybe I just be simple and just do regular double crochets back and forth. And I am doing turned rounds so that one, my turning chain stays straight, and two, so that I keep that alternating look that I was getting up here, because this is worked in turned chains. So any suggestions for a crochet stitch that might be good for a highly variegated yarn, like body part of this tank top, please leave them down below. But I've been stuck for a while, so we'll see how it goes. The idea or the plan is going to be to do the Chesapeake for the whole body, and then the bottom band or like a bottom trim be Gulf side for contrast. So that's that. And then my last work in progress is the Bud and Prickle shawl by Whitney Marie Anderson. And I have gotten, this is the front, I have gotten this far, and you can kind of see it's got some you can't see, there's a little bit of texture there, and then there's bobbles that go along this side. This variegated yarn is really eating it up, and the fact that it's getting dark now is eating it up. I will say that I started this out shortly after taking some Benadryl for my allergies. Do not mix crochet and Benadryl. I was so confused, and it was the Benadryl, because the next day I looked at it and I had messaged her and everything in my Benadryl stupor, and the next day when I looked at it, I was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and we got this far. It's living in a yarn bowl. This is a pot, like a ceramic pot, I think, ceramic or terracotta pot that I got from the thrift store. This is like one of the things that I'm loving doing recently, is finding really cool like bowls and stuff to use as yarn bowls. It's my jam right now. So that's all of my works in progress. I do have one maker plan, and this is another thing that I was enabled to do because I was watching Alt Knots, and they made some socks with this yarn. It is, I think it's a full rainbow. Yeah, it's a full rainbow, but they're not solid stripes. They kind of like muddle into each other. So I want to make a pair of cozy socks. And I don't have any worsted weight socks for myself. I've made worsted weight socks for one of my cousins, and I think I made some for my mom, but Kalisha doesn't have any. Kalisha needs some. Kalisha will have rainbow worsted weight socks, and Kalisha is very excited. That's the only thing I have for maker plans. So hi friends, sorry for the awkward cut at the end of this podcast, but the sun went down super fast. I was not expecting it, and then I started talking about how I had to get a new phone because my current phone was trying to set the house on fire. So there's that. So I cut out the rest of Stashquisitions and Life and Whatnot because it was just stupid dark. and I am going to, whenever I get to film the next podcast, because between the video, the beginning of this podcast and now, I think it's been a whole month. Yeah, it's been like a whole month, and I feel like my brain's been a little bit of everywhere. So what I'm gonna do is I will reshare the stash positions that I would have shown in this episode in my next episode. And hopefully I'll be able to film that next episode soon. I am still gonna do the video of the Pisces season make-along projects and winter announcement, because I can't let it sit. Like, I have to do it. But yeah, there's been a lot of progress on the works in progress that I was showing you, and the maker plans. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this episode. I will see you in the next episode, and leave a comment down below of something good that happened to you in the last month since I've been low-key MIA. Thanks for being a part of my universe and for putting up with me and my erratic posting schedule. Schedule is such a not even situation. My erratic posting period. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will see you later. Bye, friends.